Hello, what's up? Alrighty then, time for our October 2023 pickup video, and as you can see, went much harder with gaming than figures this month, but we'll get the figures out of the way first, starting with some gaming figures. Wendy O. Koopa. I thought Roy was supposed to be in the pipeline for the next Koopaling, but no word of him, and I've seen so many reissues of the other ones, Iggy, Lemmy, Larry, Ludwig. I kind of knew that Wendy was out floating around there somewhere, but I wasn't going to go on eBay and spend those prices, but eventually I stumbled upon her, only for about 20 bucks at a Second and Charles, but the only accessory she comes with is this wand. No candy rings, just like how Lemmy didn't have a ball to balance on. It's like, talk about skimping on the accessories. And as for articulation, well, can't remember. It's been a while since I've handled the other Koopalings. I don't know if they have articulated feet like this, or if Wendy having heels allowed it for more or less. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same sort of articulation you've seen in the other Koopalings, and at least her bracelets are fixed on, so you're not going to drop them. And I always wondered something. Why does she have a hair bow when she's pretty much hairless? I think also Morton and Bowser Jr. have very little hair, but you expect the only female Koopaling to be sporting some. It reminds me of like Miss Pac-Man. She doesn't have hair, but she's got a hair bow. Kind of why I like the cartoon version of her better. And now we get to the Ghost of Sparta, Kratos from the God of War series with his classic look. I don't know if this figure was for God of War 1 or 2 or 3. He's getting pretty pricey on the secondhand market, so when I saw a deal on eBay, I snagged him. My only problem is, even for a 7-inch scale NECA figure, he's pretty big. Next to the NECA Dracula, he's about the same height when Dracula's supposed to be a big mofo. And even next to like the Joyride Studios Halo 1 Master Chief, he's about the same height, if not a little bigger. When, damn, Master Chief's supposed to be 7 feet tall in his armor, but whatever. I mean, you can't argue with artistry like this, that face sculpt that shows how, come on, focus, just how fucking pissed off this guy gets, how he's just gonna slaughter every satyr and, well, every other Greek mythological figure that comes across his path. And other details like the chains on the gauntlets, like the sense of aged metal on his weapons, and he's got plenty of articulation, kicks up that high, double jointed elbows and knees, little ankle wiggle, and a little toe-ticulation, something Hasbro's only just starting to give us back. Good movement for the head, all-around good figure, even if he is oversized. But when the series got to the second PSP game in Ascension, I thought it was losing steam, so maybe that's why I've been slow to check out the newer versions, even though I know they go in a completely different direction and gotten a lapped-up critical praise. But for me, God of War will always be about the old-school ones on the PS2, the first PSP game, and God of War 3. That was just gaming perfection right there. Come on, Kratos, stand up. Okay, fine, just go over there. Alright, the last figure we got is Dick Grayson, the original Robin, Nightwing. I needed a good Nightwing on my show, because originally I had the Batman Missions ones, and this one just looked too dinky. So I got another one on eBay, like I think it was like the DC Director Cut. Then I noticed it's the same problem. No taller and even worse articulation. But thankfully I noticed an auction for the rather pricey Mattel Multiverse one and sniped it, got a good deal. And this one comes with the Eskrima sticks and basically the same setup as Kid Flash. Pinless, double-jointed knees, no double-jointed elbows, but they are pinless. Good rotation on the shoulders, bicep swivel. Not really any ankle articulation other than going back and forth, and some limited movement on the head, but otherwise, this is a very posable and very versatile figure. And this is going to be my Nightwing figure going forward. I know Mafex has one out, and Mezco's coming out with one, but those are probably going to be too small as well, so I'm just sticking with this. I'm glad I got him for a good price. Alright, let's get on to the gaming, and would you believe I've hardly ever played any Contra sequels? Not even this one? For me, growing up, it was the original Contra that was the shit. I mean, that impressed so many people back in the day. When I think of good co-op shooter, it's not like doing some first-person shooter co-op like Fortnite or some shit with someone. It's good old Contra. The only other Contra sequel I have and played is, believe it or not, Operation C for the Game Boy. It's damn good, but it's high time I play the other Super NES one. Speaking of stuff I need to play, I want to make more content for my channel again, do more runs, and I thought something I should do is Eco again. I was originally going to do the PlayStation 2 original. I got it right here, but actually, Nightwing, you're going to have to go back a little. Yeah, but then after doing a little research, I found out that we kind of got screwed over with this one. It was rushed. The American version was put out before even the regular box art was finished, so we got this weird mashup. I kind of like it, but others put it up there with the original Mega Man as some of the worst American box art, whatever. But more importantly, certain things like Princess Georda has no AI that lets her react to enemy presence, and she won't point out areas of interest like she would in the Japanese and European versions. This put all that back in the American release. So I decided, normally I go with the original version of something if I can, but for Eco, I'm going to go ahead and make an exception. Wendy, get your shit together. Also for PS3, I picked this up. When I was on vacation in Kansas, my buddy took me to this one arcade where you pay a flat fee, and you can play as much as you want, unlimited credits. And for the first time, I played the original Mortal Kombat arcade machine. It took me a goddamn hour to beat it with Scorpion, so I'm thinking, maybe I should give this series another shot. But I had a lot of catching up to do. What's one game in the series that I can jump into without really having to catch up with the mythology? And I realized this goofy-ass game. But it really isn't really that strange. I mean, Marvel has stuff from Capcom, so the Mortal Kombat guys get DC. It made sense to me. So that should be fun. And lastly, because I want to try to get into more fighting games in general. Dick, don't be a dick. Guilty Gear. I have the original Guilty Gear, but I could never get through it in single player. I get annihilated. I was playing as sole bad guy, but when I got to Kai, it's just, I get trashed. But a friend of mine said that maybe you should try the next one. It's a little bit more newbie-friendly. We'll see, because ever since I saw the review for the original Guilty Gear back in EGM back in 1998, it looked like something I wanted to get into. I mean, the characters are just, the designs are so bonkers, and the story, goddamn, you gotta love it. So Sammy put these out. I think that's the company that Sega eventually merged with. Yep, instruction manual looks good, disc is in pretty good condition, so that's a worthy addition to my PS2 library. Well, that's it. Thanks for sticking around. See you soon, hopefully.